Hello everybody. Today we are going to continue with the exercise 12b. This exercise is about ellipse. Already we have seen some few questions in the previous video along with the theoretical explanation. We are going to continue with some more different type of questions based on ellipse, right? If before we go to the question, I would just like to remind you in the table of ellipse, you might have noticed that the coordinate of the coordinate of center. If you look into the table, you will see that coordinate of the center is given as 0, 0. Coordinate of the center is given as equal to 0, 0. And this is very important. Actually, all the components also are equally important, but then I'm just focusing on the center. If the coordinate of the center is given at origin, right, that means the value of x and y will be 0, 0. In that case, the formula for the ellipse we are using is x square over a square plus y square over b square is equal to 1 for the horizontal ellipse. But in case in some of the questions you will notice that the coordinate of the center will not be given at the origin. So if you see that coordinate of the center is not given at the origin, right, that means definitely the ellipse is not at the original position, it is in the vertex form. Therefore, in such cases where the center of the ellipse is not at the origin, we will take the different form of ellipse, right? Different equation for the ellipse, and that equation we will consider as equal to x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square, right? This form of ellipse is called as the vertex form of ellipse. Likewise, this is the example for the horizontal ellipse. Likewise, there will be change in the vertical ellipse also. Is it okay? So now we are moving on to question number 7. Now, as you can see in the board, question number 7 says find the equation of the ellipse. Find the equation of the ellipse whose center is at -2 and 3. And whose semi-axis are as 3 and 2. When the major axis is along either parallel to x-axis, or second case is when the major axis is parallel along y-axis. So here we have to solve this question in two different cases. So first of all, we are going to go with case 1, that is Roman number 1. Is it okay? Here, let us first of all write down the information that we have in the solution. We will write down the information. The information is that the coordinate of the center, right? Coordinate of the center. The center is given at the coordinate of the center is given at equal to -2 and 3. -2 and 3, right? And the semi-major axis, the semi-axis are 3 and 2. The semi-axis are 3 and 2. You know that major axis is denoted as 2a and minor axis is denoted by 2b. And here the semi-axis is half of that 2a, that means a. A will be equal to 3 and b is equal to, the semi-minor axis is equal to 2. So these are the informations given to us. Now, if this is the information, then we have to find out the equation of the ellipse when it is parallel to, when the major axis is parallel to, or the major axis is along x-axis. Is it okay? Now, as you can see here, the center is at -2 and 3 and it is not at 0. This means the equation of this parabola, equation of this ellipse, the equation of this ellipse we can write as equation of ellipse, we can write as equal to x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square. This is equal to 1. This is the equation that we will be using for finding the equation. Is it very clear? Now, where h and k are the coordinate of the center, right? A and b already we have. So we can directly find out the equation by putting the values of this on. So let us see the equation. X minus h. H is the value of your x. And here this is minus sign and the value of your h also is minus. So this minus and this minus will make it as plus. So this is x plus 2 whole square and then divided by a square. Your a is 3 and so therefore a square is 3 square means 9. plus, in the formula we have plus y minus k, and k is 3. So y minus 3 whole square divided by b square, and b is 2, so the square of 2 is 4, is equal to 1. Hope this is clear. Now with this we will start simplifying. So when you simplify, first of all we will simplify the numerator, because the numerator is given in the form of perfect square, a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. You know the expansion of a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we will use that expansion and we can expand x plus 2 whole square. Likewise, y minus 3 whole square also will be expanded using the formula of a minus b whole square. And expansion of a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Hope I am making you clear. With this we will start the expansion. So we can write this as x plus 2 whole square as x square plus 2 into this, that is 4x, and then the square of the second term, that is 4, and denominator is 9 as it is, plus now y minus 3 is y square minus 2 into this will become minus 6y, and then the square of 3, that is 9, divided by 4 is equal to 1. Now we have these two fraction number. I already told you that whenever we have multiple fractions, we should always simplify and make this into 1, right? So the simplest way we can simplify and make this into 1 is by taking the LCM and then simplifying, right? So when you are taking the LCM, directly multiply, because these two have no common divisor. This 9 further, it will come as equal to 36. Now we can do cross multiplication. So 4 into this numerator. So that is, it will come as 4x square plus, 16x, and then plus 16, right? And then this way when you multiply, it comes as 9y square minus 54y, and then 9 9 81 is equal to, on right hand side we have 1. Now we can cross multiply, this 36 will go to the other side, and then we can rearrange the terms. If there is any like term, we will simplify. So this is 4x square single term as it is, then we have 9y square as it is, then 16x also we have only one piece, so 16x as it is, then minus 54, this y term also we have only one piece, so this is minus 54y, 16 and 81 we have 2, right? So 16 plus 81 will come as equal to 97, and this 36 will go to that side, it is 36. Now finally we can bring this 36 to left hand side, and then we can write the final equation. So the required equation, the final equation is 4x square plus 9y square plus 16x minus 54, right? 54y, and this 36 when it comes to this side, it will become what? This will become 97 minus 36 will become 61 is equal to 0, and this becomes the final equation of your ellipse. This is question number 7, Roman number 1. This is the solution of Roman number 1. Now we are continuing with question number 7, Roman number 2, case 2. This question is same as case 1 only, but the difference is that in the previous case, the major axis was parallel to x-axis. The major axis, right? The major axis was parallel to x-axis, and therefore we kept a greater, right? Now this ellipse is parallel to y-axis. That means this is a vertical ellipse, and therefore the b has to be greater. That is the only difference. We have just changed the value. When the ellipse is parallel to x-axis, that means it is horizontal ellipse. In that case, a will be greater. If it is a horizontal axis, again I am reminding you, listen very carefully. When the ellipse is a parallel to x-axis, it is said to be horizontal ellipse, and in that case a will be greater. And then another case is vertical ellipse, where the major axis is along y-axis, is parallel to y-axis. In that case b will be greater. That is the only difference. Rest all the things are same. So we are now going to write down the equation of the ellipse. So let the equation of the ellipse will be equation of ellipse, right? The formula we will use same, right? This is x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square is equal to 1. So there is no change in the formula, but what we are changing is the value of a and b. if this ellipse is parallel to x-axis, then A will be greater, and when the ellipse is parallel to y-axis, B will be greater, right? So please be very careful about that. Now let us put the value. So this is x minus, and then this minus will make it plus 2 whole square over A square, that is 2 square, plus y minus 3 whole square over 3 square is equal to 1, right? Now, first of all, let us simplify this left hand side, x plus 2 whole square, that is x square plus 4x plus 4, and then down will be simply 4. This is equal to, now y minus 3 whole square is y square minus 6y plus 9 divided by 3 square means 9 is equal to 1. Now let us simplify and make these two fractions into 1. So the LCM of these two will be same as previous question, 36 cross multiply 9x square plus 36x plus 36. Then this way 4y square minus 24y, 6 for the 24y, and then 9 for the 36. This is equal to 1. Now cross multiply and then simplify the numerator. Correct all the like terms together. This will be 9x square plus 4y square, then plus 36x, then minus 24y, right? 36 and 36 we will just now, okay, or maybe we can add these two together. We will get this as 72, and then cross multiplying 36 into 1 will become 36. Now this 36 will be brought to the left hand side, and we'll get the final equation of the ellipse, and therefore it will be 9x square. The final equation is 9x square plus 4y square plus 36x minus 24y, and 72 minus 36 will become 36. So this is 36 is equal to 0. This is the required equation of ellipse which is parallel to y-axis. Alright, thank you. Now the next question we are going to take is question number 9. This question number 9, it says find the equation of an ellipse. Again the question is to find the equation of ellipse. Now let us see that for finding the equation of the ellipse, what are the information given to us. So the question says find the equation of the ellipse with center at 3, 1 and vertex at 3, minus 2, and the eccentricity is equal to 1 over 3. And eccentricity is equal to 1 over 3. So let us first of all write down all the information that we have in the question. The question says that the coordinate of the center is given at, information that we have is given center, we are given center, right? And this center is given as equal to 3 and 1. Coordinate of the center is given as 3 and 1. Then we are given what? The coordinate of one of the vertex. It is given as equal to 3 and minus 2. 3 and minus 2. And the eccentricity E is given as equal to 1 over 3. Now here we need to understand this question is we have to write down the equation of the ellipse. And now we know that we have equation of the ellipse for the center to be at the origin and for the center to be not at the origin. So when your center is at the origin, then the equation we use is x square over a square plus y square over b square is equal to 1, right? But if the center is not at the origin and it is somewhere else, in that case we use the vertex form of the ellipse equation. And that equation we have seen in the previous question. So that same formula we are going to use here. Is it okay? Now, we have the center, we have the vertex, and we are given the ellipse. And the question is to find out the equation of the ellipse. So let us see that the equation of the ellipse will be what? Equation of ellipse. Equation of ellipse. For this question, we are not going to write the formula x square over a square plus y square over b square is equal to 1. This formula we are not going to use because the center is not at the origin. So then in that case, the equation will be x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square is equal to 1. This is the equation we are going to use to write down the equation of the ellipse, right? Now here this question, now from here you will get more clear picture. in order to write the equation of the ellipse, what you need is, you need the value of A, you need the value of B, and then you need the coordinate of the center. Is it okay? Now, look at the given information and then check what we have and what we don't have. From the information, we only have the value of H and K. That is the coordinate of the center. H and K will be the coordinate of the center. So we have the value of H and K, but we do not have the value of A and B. And without having the value of A and B, we will not be able to write down the equation of the ellipse. And therefore, from here, we get a very clear picture that what we need to, again, find. So we are going to calculate the value of A and B. We are going to find the value of A and B in order to write down the equation. So to do this, let me draw a rough diagram. Suppose this is the coordinate. This is your coordinate X and Y coordinate, right? The center is at 3, 1. So at 3, 1, somewhere here, right? And the vertex is at 3, minus 2. So 3 and then minus 2 somewhere here, right? So this is the vertex and this is your center, right? Let us draw the ellipse. So your ellipse is somehow like this. Your ellipse is somehow like this. Are you getting me? Your ellipse is somehow like this. That means this ellipse is a vertical ellipse. This ellipse is a vertical ellipse. That means the bigger number out of these two, the bigger will come under Y. This is the advantage of drawing the diagram. Next thing is, we want to have the value of A and B. Since we have the coordinate of this vertex, and the coordinate of this vertex is 3 and negative 2, and the coordinate of the center is 3 and 1, 3 and 1, right? You know that the distance from this vertex, this is also one vertex and this is another vertex, right? These two are the vertex for the major axis, right? And then the length of these two is always 2a, and this center is always at equal distance from this and then this point. Is it okay? So if this total distance is 2a, that means this distance will be half of 2a, means a. So we can use the distance formula and find out the value of a. Is it okay? So our a will be equal to root over 3 minus 3, or this 3 minus this 3, anyone we can do, 3 minus 3 whole square, that is x2 minus x1 whole square, plus y1, y2 minus y1, that is 1 minus minus plus 2 whole square, right? This will become 0, and this 3 square and then square and square will cancel. So the value of your a is equal to 3. Now see, here we got the value of a. Now what we need is value of b. So what we can do is we will use some of the information that we already have, right? I will write here, we know what is c is equal to ae, right? C is equal to ae. Now you can calculate the value of c. Your a we have calculated right now is equal to 3, and e is given eccentricity as 1 over 3. So this 3 is cancelled. The value of your c is 1, right? We calculated the value of a, we got the value of c, but this c is not required in this equation. We require the value of b. So we will now find the value of b. There is a relation. We know that a square is equal to b square plus c square, right? From here we can calculate the value of b. So your b square will become equal to a square minus c square. Your a we have calculated is 3, so that is 3 square, and minus c square, that is 1 square. This will give you, this is 3 square means 9, minus 1 is equal to 8. Therefore, the value of your a square is equal to 8. Now we are in a position to find the equation of the ellipse. Hence, the equation is, therefore, the required equation is x minus h is 3 whole square divided by a square. Now here, this a will have to be smaller number, right? Here we have to have a smaller number. Your a is 3 and your b is b square is 8. Now look here, b is in terms of a square, and here we have a in terms of decimal power. So if we square it, from here we can get the value of a square. I'm inserting here only. A square will become equal to 9. Now this will give you a very clear picture, because this is a vertical ellipse. The bigger number will have to go under this one, right? That means this is a square. So this will become our b square. We can make this change here, right? And then A and B are not important. What is important is the bigger number, where the bigger number will go. Because our bigger number is coming A according to our assumption. Therefore, it will go under Y. And the smaller number will come under X because this is vertical. So, under this we will have the smaller number and that number will go as B square, that is 8. And then we will come to next one, which is Y minus K, Y minus 1 whole square divided by, this is bigger number and this is equal to 9, is equal to 1. Now let us simplify. X minus 3 whole square, that is x square minus 6x plus 9 divided by 8 as it is, plus y minus 1 whole square is y square minus 2y plus 1 divided by 9 is equal to 1. Now we can simplify this to fraction, make it into 1 by doing the cross multiplication and finding the LCM. So the numerator will become 9x square minus 54x plus 81 divided by 8, right? And then let me take this together. This is 8y square minus 16y and then plus 8 and is equal to this 8 9 is 72. I will take to that side directly, 72. Hope this is very clear. Now we are going to write the final answer. So the final answer will be 9x square, then 8y square minus 54x minus 16y, and then this 81 plus 8, 89. From 89 we will subtract this 72. It will come 17. This will come 17 is equal to 0. This is the equation of your ellipse. Hope I made this question very clear. Thank you. Now we are moving on to next question number 13. Question number 13. Right? This question is quite easy, but it is little different. So just for demo, one question. Question number 13 says, for the ellipse, that means here in this question, the equation of the ellipse is already given. So far in the previous questions, we have always calculated the equation of the ellipse, and this is the first question where the equation of the ellipse is already given. So let us write the equation of the ellipse. So what is given is the equation of the ellipse, right? The equation of the ellipse is given as equal to what? Is given as 9x square plus 16y square is equal to 576. Now we are given this as the equation of your ellipse, right? Now the equation of the ellipse is given. So from this equation of the ellipse, now you have to write down all the information that you have seen in the table, right? Like the directrix, the focus, the the major axis, the minor axis, the coordinate of the center, everything we have to find out, right? So how can we find out all the informations from the given equation? So we are going to learn that. It's very easy to do this question. What we can do here is, first of all, we need to write this equation in the general form. And the general form of the equation, when the center is at origin, then the equation of ellipse is written as x square over a square plus y square over b square is equal to 1. This is the format of the ellipse when the center is at the origin. So here in this case, we assume that the center is at the origin, right? Let us see whether it comes at the origin or not. That is not a serious problem. The first thing that we will find out is we will write down this equation in the standard form, right? To write this equation in the standard form, as I told you, the formula is x square over a square plus y square over b square is equal to 1. That means on the right hand side in the general equation, we are supposed to have only 1. So first change that we will make in this equation is, by any means we have to make this right hand side is equal to 1. Once if you make this part as equal to 1, automatically everything can be generated, right? So in order to make this part as equal to 1, this is very simple task. We can divide all the terms on both the side by the same number, 576. So let us do that. This implies we are going to divide 9x square over 576, then 16y square divided by again 576, and then right hand side 576 is divided by 576. what happens is, as a result now, we can see here what it will be now. You can simplify. This is 9 6 are 54. That means it will come x square over this will become 64. Right? Now, this will become equal to this 576 when you divide it by 16, it will come as equal to 36. This is y square divided by 36. And right hand side we will get this as equal to 1. Right? This 64, if we want, we can write this as 8 square. 8 square. And this 36 we can write as equal to 6 square. Right? Now from here, you see, now you are going to get all the informations. The first information that we are going to write down is the value of A and B is given. We are going to first of all find the value of C, because we have to find out the eccentricity, right? So we are going to first of all find the value of C. A is equal to 8. From here, B is equal to 6. Now we are going to find the C value. And C value is equal to root over A square minus B square, because A square is equal to B square plus C square. I have already given you the formula. So using that formula, we are going to find the value of C. So this is C will be equal to A square means it was 64. So 64 minus B square means 36, right? And this is equal to 14 minus 6, 8. And 5 minus 3, 2. This is 28. That means when you simplify, this will come down to 2 root of 7. This is the value of your C, right? But your question is to find the value of eccentricity. Find the value of eccentricity. Now, we know that C is equal to AE. This is the relation, right? So, from here we can find the value of eccentricity. This implies this E will be equal to C over A, right? C we calculated as 2 root over 7, 2 root 7. And A is calculated as 8. Right? Simplify, you will get your answer as root 7 divided by 4. This is the value of your eccentricity. So your eccentricity is equal to root over 7 over 4. This is the value of your eccentricity. Is it okay? Like this, now we have to find the value of equation of directrix. Equation of directrices. Because there are 2 directrices, no? Therefore, we say directrices, because this is the plural. And then from the table, if you keep the table in front of you, then the equation of the directrix is written as x is equal to, the equation of directrix is plus minus A over E. This is the formula for equation of the directrices. This you will get from the table. That is why I told you, whenever you solve any question, you should keep the table in front of you. Now here, we already calculated the value of A. This is plus minus. A is ultimo. This is 8. E is how much? Root 7 over 4. And this root 7 over 4, when we write here, it is because of fractional number. We can change this division into multiplication. This number will flip. And therefore, this will go as 4 will go up. And then root 7 will come down. Is it okay? As a result, this will become 32 over root 7. Now, the radical number is in the denominator. Therefore, it needs to be rationalized. So, we are rationalizing. This is root 7 up. Also, we will multiply it by root 7. Finally, your answer of this x will be coming equal to plus minus 32 root of 7 divided by 7. Root 7 into root 7 is simply 7. This is the equation of your directrix. Is it okay? Now, the next is we have to find the length of the latus rectum. Length of latus rectum. Whatever information they ask, using this ABC and E, we can calculate. Here they are asking us to find out only the eccentricity, equation of directrices, and length of latus rectum. Length of latus rectum. So from the table, again you will know what is the value of latus rectum. This latus rectum used to be equal to 2b square over A. This is 2b square. B square means the square of 6, that is 36. We can write 36. And then A. A is 8. Right? So 2 4s are 8 and 4 9s are 36. Therefore, this is the length of latus rectum. This is 9. Is this very clear? Now, the last one is the foci. Right? The coordinate of foci. Foci. We can also call this as foci. Some people are also calling this as foci, but I used to call this as foci. If you look at the dictionary, the pronunciation of this is given as foci only, right? And this is equal to plus minus AE 0. From the table, you will know what is the coordinate of the foci, right? And this is the coordinate of the foci. This we can also write as, because we know that AE is equal to C, no? So in place of this AE, we can also write this as, we can replace it by C, and this is 0, right? It will be more easy for you because we have already calculated the value of C as equal to 2 root 7. So the answer of this part will be plus minus 2 root of 7 and then 0. This is the coordinate of your foci. Thank you. Now we are taking question number 15, right? Question number 15 says, find the distance between a focus and an extremity. Find the distance between a focus and an extremity of the minor axis. If the equation of the ellipse is 4x square plus 5y square is equal to 100. If this is the equation of the ellipse, then find the distance between the focus and the extremity of the minor axis, right? So let us see that what the question says. Let us draw the diagram, right? So suppose if the ellipse is this, your ellipse is suppose this, right? Now the question talks about the extremity of the minor axis, right? Since this is the horizontal ellipse we have taken, that means the minor axis will be along y-axis. So, and the focus will be somewhere, one focus will be here and one focus will be somewhere here, right? And then if we draw a line passing through this focus, right, which will be called as axis, this is one of the major axis, and then the minor axis will be passing through the center. It will be somehow like this, right? Now the question says, find the distance between a focus, right? We can take any one of these two focus, right? Find the distance of the focus between find the distance between a focus and the extremity of the minor axis. This is the minor axis and these are the two extreme end of this minor axis. So from this two extreme end, we can take any one of these two, right? So suppose if we are talking about this extreme end of the minor axis and this focus, then the question is to find out the distance between this. This is our question. Find out this distance. Is it okay? Now, to find this distance, what we need is, we need to have the length of this one and also we need to have the length of this one. Isn't it? Now, what is this length? This total distance between this end and then this end is called as the minor axis, and which is denoted by 2b. And you know that this extreme point will be at equal distance from the center. This center will be at equal, these two extreme points are at equal distance from the center. That means if this total length is taken as 2b, that means this length will be taken as half of the distance, and therefore we can say that this length will be equal to b. This is b. That means we need to have the length of this b. Is it okay? And then the distance of the focus from the center. The distance between the two foci is represented as 2c. The distance between the two foci is represented by 2c. And you know that this center, these two foci are at equal distance from the center. That means if this total distance is 2c, that means this half of this distance will be equal to c only, you know. So to find the length of this one, we need to have the length of b, we need to have the length of c, and after getting the length of bc, we can use the Pythagoras theorem and we can find the length of the distance between the focus and the extreme end of the minor axis. Hope I made it very clear, no? So let us start finding. How can we have this b and c? First of all, we are given this equation, we will write this in the general form, right? So that easily we can get the value of a and b, right? Once we get the value of a and b, then c generating will be very easy. So we are going to do that. We are going to, because this side we want to have 1, therefore this all the terms are going to be divided by 100. So 4x square over 100 plus 5y square divided by 100 is equal to 100 divided by 100. As a result, this will become x square over 25. This is y square divided by 20, and this is equal to 1. As a result, from here, what we get is, this implies we get the value of a square as equal to 25, and b square we got it as 20. First of all, what we can do is, after this we have a b, right? We will use the relation. We know that a square is equal to b square plus c square, right? A square is equal to b square plus c square. So we are going to find the value of c using this formula. So our c square will become equal to a square minus b square, right? This is, or this if square, if I send it, no, let it be square form only. A square will become 25 minus 20. This will be equal to 5. So c square we got this as equal to 5. Now look here. In this triangle we got the length of b, we got the length of c, and that both we have got in terms of square only. So there will be advantage. We can easily find the length of the distance between the focus and the extreme of the minor axis. So therefore the required distance between focus and extreme end of minor axis This we can calculate using Pythagoras theorem, right? Using Pythagoras theorem. Right? So what it will be? This distance will be equal to, this distance is square, I am sending to the other side. So it's square root over b square plus c square. B square is how much? B square we got as 20. So 20, and then c square we have is 5. Right? And since both are in terms of already square, that's why we don't have to do any calculation. This is coming totally equal to 25. And then you know that 25 is a perfect square number. Therefore, the distance will be equal to 5 unit. This is the distance between focus and the extreme end of the minor axis. Hope this is clear. Thank you. We are taking the last question number 19 of this ellipse. This question is to write down the equation of the ellipse when the foci are at so and so, at -1 and 5 and 5 and 5, and whose major axis is 10. Now here the foci is said to be at -1 and 5 and then 5 and 5. Right? If you look at the table, then the foci coordinate is given as plus minus AE 0. AE and then y coordinate is 0. That means when we look at the focus, the coordinate of this focus, this clearly says that the ellipse center also will not be at the origin. It is transformed. Therefore, when we have to write down the equation of this, we cannot use the general formula, but we will use the vertex form of ellipse. So that we will, then the vertex form of the ellipse is x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square is equal to 1. We know this formula. You have seen in the previous question also. So first of all, let me draw the diagram. The diagram will speak to us very clearly. This is your ellipse. Very sorry. This is your ellipse. Is it okay? This is your ellipse. Now, according to this question, we are given the coordinate of the two foci, right? The coordinate of the first foci is given as equal to -1 and 5, and the coordinate of the another focus is given as 5 and 5. This is the first information. Another information is we also have the length of the major axis, right? Major axis, which we denote as 2a, right? And this is given as equal to 10. So from here we can easily get the value of a as equal to 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5, right? We get the value of a. Now, what we need is, we need to have the coordinate of the center. Because we are going to use the formula x minus h whole square divided by a square plus y minus k whole square divided by b square. So we need the coordinate of the center. Now we know that these focus are at equal distance from the center, right? So very easy to find the coordinate of this center. We can find the average of this x and then average of y. So 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 will be equal to 2. That will become the x coordinate of your center. X coordinate of your center. And then 5 plus 5 divided by 5 plus 5 divided by 2. That means 10 divided by 2 will be equal to 5. So this becomes the coordinate of your center. Right? Now, with the help of this, we are going to begin. So what we can do is, here we have A, and from the coordinate of these two, these are the two foci. The distance between the two foci we are denoting as 2c, and this distance can be easily calculated. This distance can be easily calculated. Say this is d, and this d is equal to 2c. So this d can be calculated by using the distance formula, right? A is already there. A is there. From the major axis, we have got the value of A. By calculating the distance between the two foci, we are getting the distance, and that distance will be equal to 2c. So from here, we will be also able to get the value of c. So from the diagram itself, we are able to generate the value of A. We are able to get the value of c. Then we can finally find the value of B using the formula A square is equal to B square plus C square. And then after that, we can write down the final equation. So let us begin. Given information we have is 2a, that is major axis is given is equal to 10. This implies our A value is equal to 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5 simply, right? Now the distance D, the distance between the two foci, using the distance formula, we can calculate this as 5 minus 1 plus whole square, then 5 minus 5 whole square, and then this part will become 0, this will become 6 square, and then we have root sign, so square and square will cancel. Your distance will be equal to 6, and this distance is equal to 2c, and this implies our c will be equal to 3. 6 divided by 2 will be equal to 3. Clear? Now, we are calculating the coordinate of the center. Coordinate of center. Or before that, we will calculate the value of b. We know, we are doing it in sequence. A calculated, C calculated, now we are calculating B. So B square will be equal to, it will be A square minus C square. A square means a square of 5 is 25, and C square means a square of 3, that is 9. This will be equal to 16. So this is the value of our B square, right? We got A, we got C, we got B. Now we are trying to find out the coordinate of the center, which we have already calculated, but we have to show the process. So center, we are calculating using the distance formula, the midpoint formula. This will be x value will be 5 minus 1 over 2, and y value will be 5 plus 5 divided by 2, right? This will be equal to 2, and this will be equal to 5. We got the coordinate of the center also. Now we are going to write down the equation of the ellipse. Therefore, required equation of ellipse. The formula is x minus h whole square over a square plus y minus k whole square over b square is equal to 1. This is the formula. Let us continue this. X minus h. H is this x coordinate, that is 2 whole square over a square. A is 5, that means square will be 25, plus y minus k, that is 5 whole square divided by b square, and b we calculated is equal to, b square is already calculated 16, so 16, and this is equal to 1. This is equal to 1. Let us simplify now. In numerator of this will be x minus 2 whole square will turn into x square minus 4x plus 4 divided by 25, then plus y minus 5 whole square, that is y square minus 10y plus 25 divided by 16 is equal to 1. Now we can simplify and make these two fractions into 1. So the LCM of 25 and 16 will be equal to 400, right? I will not draw this line. I'm going to do it directly. So this LCM will be shifted to the other side. So around the right hand side, we will have 400. And same time, we are doing the cross multiplication. So 16x square, then 16 for the 64 minus 64x, then 64 is again 64. Now this way when you cross multiply, 25 into y square is 25 y square, then 25 times are minus 225, 250y, and then 25 into 25 is 625 plus 625 is equal to, this side is 400. 25 into 16 is 400. Now if there is any like term, we will calculate and that will be the final answer. Okay, so final answer will be 16x square plus 25y square minus 64x, and this is minus 250y. Now we have 625 here and then 64 here. This is total 689, right? And this 4 comes to this 400 comes to this side, so it will become 289, and this is equal to 0. This is the final equation of your ellipse. This is the end of your conic section. And regarding the hyperbola, the next exercise is hyperbola. That hyperbola I am leaving it for you as an assignment, because there's no not much difference between the ellipse and then hyperbola. The difference is only the sign. Like here we are putting this plus sign. When we are writing the equation of ellipse, we are using this plus sign, and if this is minus sign, then that same thing will turn into hyperbola. So all the information, all the questions will be of the same types. The same type of questions you will get in hyperbola also. But whenever you use the equation for the hyperbola, you have to replace this plus sign by minus sign. So with this, hyperbola chapter will be your assignment. Thank you so much.